Now that we've gone over the parameters of materials, let's go ahead and make our own. So I'm going to just render this very quickly and show you that I created this kind of molten core planet toy thing. And it's got a really cool Fresnel effect where it gets lighter where the camera is or where we're looking, and it gets darker as it fades away. Has a displacement map on it, and it has a little bit of an atmosphere. So we have a little bit of fog in there. So I'm going to go ahead and create a brand new file so we can go ahead and explore this. So let's go ahead and follow along, create a sphere. And what I'm going to do is at this point, we're going to create a new material. And let's just go ahead and call it whatever you want to, molten, or whatever you want to call yours. All right. Now, let's break this down. To make a material, you kind of have to know what it is you want to achieve so you know what kind of effects you want to add. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the color. Make it a really hot yellow. Then, as you see here, I don't want this to be so neat. And whenever you want to break color up, you might want to add a diffusion map. So we're going to go ahead and put the check mark here, and we're going to choose a texture. And I'm going to go over here to the noise channel. And as you see, it breaks the texture up really nice. So we can go ahead and double click on this texture, and we can change the colors. We have color 1 and color 2. So for color 2, we'll make this a really hot red. And for color 1, we'll make it maybe a little bit of a more cool orangish brownish color. Now, something else we can do with this is we can also change the scale of this texture. So if it's too large or not large enough, you can go over here to global scale, and you can change the size of that texture. See, it's a little grainier if I go smaller, and larger like so. So choose whatever you'd like. And what I want to do as well is use this for my bump and my displacement. So I'm going to click on diffusion one more time. I'm going to go to where it says texture, and we're going to copy this whole channel, which means everything that we have set up is copied to the buffer, and we can place it somewhere else. And that's going to be our bump channel. So go ahead and enable the bump. Go to texture, and we're going to paste the same channel. And notice right here we have the bump channel. But this time we're actually going to displace the actual geometry by going to displacement, enabling this, and you guessed it, we're going to paste that same channel. Look at the difference. Now we can, of course, control the strength. So if it's too much, just dial it down a little bit. Like so. Let's go ahead and just do a quick render to see what we have so far. All right. Of course, I got to put the texture on there. So I'll drag that right on here like so. And now we can render it. So as you can see, we have the little bit of displacement going on our geometry. I'm going to change my render settings as well. And I'm going to add a little global illumination in here. And I'm going to add just a light just to help me out with this render. And move it a little higher, like so. All right. Might also change some of the other settings later on, like the anti-aliasing. But for now, this is good. And I wanted to get that little bit of a shadow here. Now let's talk about making it look a little bit more interesting. For example, we can add some fog. And having fog in there, we can go ahead and drop the brightness down just to give it a little bit of atmosphere. And we can also color that fog. So you can choose whatever color you like. And we can, once again, quickly test render it. And you see we have a little bit more of an atmospheric feeling in here. But we're not done yet, because what I want to do now is I want to go to the color again. And I'm going to go back to the texture. And I'm going to load another texture here. So we're going to go to Fresnel. Now what the Fresnel does is it uses something called the incidence angle, i.e. where we are looking or where the camera is looking, to determine how the shading will occur. Now notice the way this gradient is facing. So it makes things that we're looking at darker and gets lighter as it goes further away. I'll do a render to show you that. And what we're going to do in our instance is we're going to reverse this gradient. So go ahead and click on that gradient one time. Grab this little guy here, little stop, and move it over. Grab the other one and move it over, and simply swap positions like so. And we can control the effect ourselves. And look at the preview. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do another render. A lot more interesting that way. Now let's go ahead and do one more thing. Let's go back to this color here, and we're going to go to the mix mode, and let's just go ahead and play with that as well. We'll put it on multiply. So multiply should give us our color back. Let's go ahead and render it. There we go. Without multiplying it, it blocks those pixels and we really can't see what's happening. Now, one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the color, and I'm going to go to the color up here, and I can change the color as well. So if you want a green planet, feel free to change it. And that's the beauty of this whole process. We can continue to play around. I'm also going to go now to the glow, enable that, and we can control the inner strength of the glow as well as the outer strength and the radius. So how far that glow is going to go. Let's do a quick render to see what we have. We have a nice glow. All right, guys, so as you can see here, we have a lot of control over the entire process. And if you want to, you can go ahead and increase your glow as far as the outer strength and the radius. And you can change that all together. Now you can really see it. So let me go ahead and just bump the radius down a little bit more. And now we have a nice hot glowing green planet. I'll go ahead and reduce a lot more of these values, because exploring and experimenting is half the fun of doing this. All right. So as you can see, you can build your own textures. Just know what it is you want, and then kind of figure out the ingredients you need, from displacements to bumps to Fresnel to all kinds of things to really control all the parameters to give you a really cool texture.